arrogant boxer forced a young black girl to fight to humiliate her, then the unthinkable happened. The crowd roared as fists collided and sweat flew under the bright lights of the ring. Cameras flashed, capturing every blow, every drop of blood, every shred of pride. At the center stood Carter, the steel, Briggs, undefeated, ruthless, and a man who loved the sound of his own name almost as much as he loved breaking spirits. To him, boxing wasn't just a sport. It was a stage for dominance. But today, something was different. Outside the ring, in the corner of the gym usually reserved for mop buckets and spare gloves, stood a girl no older than 16. Her name was Amara. Slim-framed, quiet-eyed, her hands wrapped in fraying cloth. She didn't look like a fighter. She looked like someone who'd wandered in by mistake. But she hadn't. She came every day after school to train in silence, her movements careful, her focus unwavering. She never asked for a spar. Never boasted. She just worked. Carter noticed her one day. Noticed the way she dodged punches like she could read the wind. The way she moved, like she wasn't trying to impress anyone, only become someone. And to him, that was laughable. This was a brutal sport, built for men like him. Not girls like her. "Why don't you come up here and show us what you got, little princess?" Carter barked one afternoon, his voice dripping arrogance. The gym fell silent. Amara looked up, stunned. Her coach, Marcus, a retired pro who saw in Amara the fire he once had, stepped forward. "She's not ready," he said. "She's scared." Carter sneered. "Come on, don't be shy. I promise I'll go easy." There was a pause. Then, Amara walked forward. The bell rang. People leaned in, phones ready. This was going to be humiliating. That was the point. The first round started exactly as Carter wanted, him dancing around her, taunting, throwing lazy jabs. Amara didn't swing. Didn't even flinch. She just moved. Calm. Focused. By the second round, Carter grew annoyed. She hadn't even tried to hit back. "Come on," he shouted. "Is this what you call fighting?" That's when it happened. With a sudden pivot, Amara slipped under his punch and landed a body shot so sharp, so precise, that Carter gasped, a sound no one had ever heard from him before. She stepped back, her face still calm. The crowd went silent again. He charged at her, furious now. But his punches missed. Again and again. She didn't hit him, she didn't need to. She danced around him like a shadow, letting him wear himself out. By round 4, Carter's arms were heavy. His breathing ragged. Amara, still composed, finally lifted her gloves. She threw one punch. A clean, devastating left hook. Carter stumbled. Fell. The arrogant boxer, humiliated by a teenage girl in front of the world. The place exploded. Phones captured every second. The video went viral within hours. But it wasn't the fall that captivated the world. It was what happened next. As Carter sat on the mat, dazed and defeated, Amara knelt beside him. She didn't raise her arms in victory. She didn't gloat. She offered him her hand. A simple gesture. A moment of grace. Carter stared at her hand like it was a foreign object. This girl, the one he tried to humiliate, was helping him up. He took it. That clip, not the knockout, not the fight, but the hand, became the image that swept across the globe. Headlines read, "Grace after glory, young girl teaches world a lesson in humility." By morning, Amara was everywhere. Interviews. Talk shows. Schools invited her to speak. Her story became a symbol, of quiet strength, of dignity in the face of cruelty, of how the smallest among us can carry the greatest power. But behind the spotlight, Amara remained herself. She told interviewers she never wanted to embarrass Carter. He gave me a chance to prove to myself I was ready, she said. And when someone gives you that, you don't repay it with hate. You repay it with respect. Carter disappeared for a while after the fight. Some said he retired. Others said he was too ashamed to show his face. But one afternoon, 3 months later, he returned to that same gym. Only this time, he wasn't carrying gloves. He carried notebooks, water bottles, and a folding chair. He asked Marcus if he could help train the kids. At first, the gym didn't know what to make of it. But Carter was different. He listened more. He barked less. He even helped repaint the cracked wall by the entrance. When asked why, he said simply, "I needed to remember what it feels like to be humbled." And Amara? She went on to win nationals. Colleges lined up with scholarships. But every time she entered the ring, she still carried the same worn cloth wraps on her hands. "They remind me who I was," she said. "And why I fight." The most powerful moment came a year later, when Carter sat ringside during Amara's championship match. The bell rang. She dominated. And when her hand was raised in victory, she pointed into the crowd, not at the cameras, not at her coach, but at Carter. Later, she told a reporter, "He gave me my first real fight. Not in the ring, but in the moment he underestimated me. That gave me the chance to rise." It's easy to dismiss people based on what they look like. Where they come from. Their silence. But sometimes, the quiet ones carry thunder. And sometimes, the ones who fall hardest rise as the greatest teachers. Amara didn't just win a fight that day. She transformed one. Transformed a man. Transformed a world that watched, expecting cruelty, but received compassion. And that was the real victory. Because sometimes the most unthinkable thing isn't a girl knocking out a champion. It's a champion learning how to be human.